Since 2003, Itaipu Binacional and partners have been implementing a program that is a reference in the care of water, nature, and life. The Cultivating Good Water program. More than an environmental action, Cultivating Good Water is a permanent participation movement involving thousands of partners such as municipal governments, cooperatives, non-governmental organizations, universities, community associations, businesses, farmers, and other residents of the basin. A care network for the watershed of the Paraná River in the reservoir area on the border between Brazil and Paraguay. An area of over 17 square kilometers, 63 municipalities, and 1.5 million inhabitants. The actions of the Cultivating Good Water are based on the ethics of care and the culture of sustainability, proposing a new way of being, living, producing, and consuming. Many actions have been developed since the program's launch, together with quantitative and qualitative results gathered, all with an ongoing and extensive involvement of the basin stakeholders, which are represented in the 29 municipal management committees, 10 thematic management committees, and 29 collective educators and other participatory mechanisms. Connections are made with new governance, integrated management, and a systemic approach: water, energy, environment, and climate change, with social inclusion and productive education and culture for sustainability, while building an individual and collective citizenship. The social and environmental recovery actions are carried out microbasin by microbasin and pass through several stages: educating people, thinking before acting, touching hearts and minds as to the issue of water, climate changes, actions that stimulate new attitudes, community vitality, good living, and quality of life. Then the workshops of the future take place, where the local stakeholders ask their questions, make their criticisms on the Wailing Wall, but are then encouraged to dream and approve proposals that form the Tree of Hope. Dreams give rise to the plan of what we are going to do, which is then translated into the path ahead. This stage is closed with a big meeting of all the stakeholders of the microbasin to celebrate the Water Pact, with rituals and commitments from all to carry out what was decided about caring for the waters, soil, biodiversity, and life. Today, there are over 220 microbasins recovered by revitalizing springs, terracing, readaptation of country roads, restoration of riparian forests, creation of biodiversity corridors, installation of community water supply, proper disposal of trash, and of animal waste, which is transformed into electricity by using biodigesters and agricultural energy condominiums. Every day that goes by, we observe more water volume in the rivers and springs, the return of birds and other fauna and flora species, in particular the return of bees, which allows the region to be a major honey producer. With a more ecologically balanced river basin, there is an advancement with the Sustainable Rural Development Program, with a sustainable chain of production and consumption by the growing of herbal food using family agriculture. There is an emphasis on organic production, diversification, agro-industrialization, and today, with a wide service network, more than 50% of the food consumed in the schools and daycares are of local production, offering healthy dishes created by the cooks after their participation in competitions of healthy food and conscious consumption, always with the theme of its nexus to water, food, local production, health, and living well. This quality of life improvement should reach all segments, particularly those most vulnerable by the productive social inclusion, such as can be seen in the improved quality of life of the fishermen, organization and improvement of the income of collectors, or in the sustainability of indigenous communities of Iko'i, Tekoa Anyetete, and Itamarã, with improvement in infrastructure, production, and appreciation of the Guarani culture and way of life. The critical, emancipatory, and transformative education, the stimulus to practice thinking about our practice, and the construction of planetary citizenship permeates all of Cultivating Good Water's actions. Formal, informal, and diffuse education, together with edu-communication, has a network of more than 15,000 educators and multipliers. With the young people who will lead the region's future, the values and culture of territorial sustainability are worked through a broad relationship via edu-communication. Most local governments, as they became increasingly involved, joined the platform of sustainable cities, which are municipalities that are part of the Sustainable Cities Network, or Green Cities, of Brazil. A pact has now been signed so that in 10 years we can reach 100% of basic sanitation. Every year, Itaipu and partners come together to assess, build, and celebrate the achievements and express the joy in sharing social technologies and the sustainability movement Cultivating Good Water with other regions, countries, governments, and businesses in a dialogue of knowledge to build a better world. All this work is gaining national and international recognition. In Brazil, it has won 6 Brazilian environmental benchmarking awards with the Cultivating Good Water CAB program considered the case of the decade in 2012. In 2010, the CAB program received the highest accolade from the entity responsible for assessing water care in the country, namely the ANA Award. Around the world, awards such as the Earth Charter +5 in 2005, the Cumbres de Guadarrama Award granted to Itaipu International by the Community of Madrid for its efforts in environmental conservation and preservation, and the highest form of recognition, the Water for Life Award, was granted by the United Nations for the best practice in water resource management on the planet, competing with 40 practices from around the world. The actions of more than a decade show significant quantitative and qualitative results that are changing an entire region. We are an outdoor lab and ready to share experiences. And now, even more enthusiastic, because beyond the UN Water Award, we were delighted to be listed in the 2015 edition of Facing the Challenges, UNESCO's important book, which included Cultivating Good Water among the 7 best practices in 2015. Cultivating Good Water, 12 years of meetings and paths to build a more sustainable planet and healthier lives from the paradigm of quality instead of quantity. We are building a new way of being, healing, living, producing, and consuming.